All right. She's fangirling. That's so dope. Good morning, everyone. So first, let me just kick it off by saying thank you, Tanya, for the introduction. And Jennifer, where are you? Okay, thank you so much for your leadership. We had a great breakfast and some really great follow-up. And the work that you're doing is making a real impact. So I really want to thank CFSI for the invitation. JPMorgan Chase is so grateful for the collaboration with you throughout the years. So simply put, thank you. Being among you today marks a very special moment for me. I am surrounded by amazing leaders who are committed to one simple North Star: improving financial health. So when I look around this room, I am reminded that we are all agents of the art of possibility. We do our best as an industry when we come together to help all Americans achieve their hopes, address their fears, and help them make their dreams a reality. And what's so important is that we do it together as one collective ecosystem. So possibility. Possibility is what led me to this stage today. And that's why I want to share my story, because I know that my experiences are similar to yours and to the people that we all help. In fact, I know that we are all connected. I have not had the benefit to meet every one of you, but I know we are connected. And to prove this point, I want everybody to stand up. I'm going to prove how connected we are and how our collective journey is what got us exactly to this moment today. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story, share my business. When you can connect with me, sit down. So when we have something in common where we're connected, sit down. So I was born in New York. If you were born in New York, sit down. In fact, it was Rochester, New York. I grew up in Texas. There it is. I'm married to a Marine. If you're married to someone in the military, sit down. Or if you have served our country, sit down. I have a bonus child. We like to say it's a stepson, but you walk on steps. He's my bonus. So if you have a bonus child, sit down. He's actually graduating this weekend from UVA. Okay. I birthed my daughter and my son, and then 3 years ago, I adopted my cherry on top, Mackenzie, when she was just a few days old. So if you have adopted a child, sit down. My mother is a teacher. Anyone have mothers who are teachers? My father worked at a warehouse for Xerox. I absolutely love basketball, and I do think Golden State is going to win it all. Even though I am a diehard Knicks fan, the struggle is real. Now let me tell you about some of my hopes and my dreams and my fears. If you know what it's like to not know where your next meal was coming from when you were growing up, sit down. If your parents would sign you up for sports and then didn't have the resources to have you continue, like when I signed up for karate lessons growing up, or when piano lessons, the money ran out, sit down. If you know what it's like to relocate from one state to another with parents who may not know what's in store, but they were doing the best that they can, sit down. If you represent one of the first in your family to graduate, to have an MBA, if you absolutely love This Is Us, because it is so real, sit down. And when the world seems heavy and you just need to smile or have a little eye candy, and you watch The Voice because you know Blake is hot, sit down. If you played sports in college, sit down. If you love sushi, sit down. Who do I not have anything in common with? You. All right, here we go. This is what I love. If you are passionate about financial health, sit down. Here's the point. We all have hopes, dreams, and fears. We all have a narrative. We all have a story. But the reality is there's a shared connectivity that we all have. And when you think about making an impact in the lives of others, it's going to require us to lean on this level of connectedness. Not the fact that we all work at different industries, different companies, not the fact that some of us are in corporate, some of us are advocacy, some of us are fintech, some of us are government. All of that actually connects us to the mission. So I want to start at the beginning of my life with the art of possibility. I shared a little bit about my story, but let me just double click and tell you what got me to this stage. So my father, Otis Brown, taught me at a very young age to reach for the moon. He said, reach for the moon because even if you miss, you will be among the stars. And what's interesting, when I think back at the time when my dad was planting these seeds, we were dealing with a lot of financial insecurity. You see, I know what it's like to open up a refrigerator and all you see is baking soda and don't know how your parents are going to make a meal. I know what it's like to have your car get repossessed when you are a young child. I know what it's like to have my parents sign us up to give us exposure to so much, but whose dreams and ambitions were bigger than the bank account. I know what it's like to understand my father's version of reaching for the moon. You see, my dad worked as a blue-collar worker at Xerox, and when plants would shut down, you didn't have a relocation package. You just had to move if you wanted to stay with the company. So my father moved us from New Jersey to Texas. And this is a moment of my father reaching for the moon. You see, we took everything that we owned with 3 kids, my mom and my dad, and we packed up in a car. And if you have 5 people in a car, there's not a lot left to pack with the things that you own. So you see, I started my life in Texas sitting on crates. But my dad was reaching for the moon because he wanted us to have a better tomorrow. And that was his version of planting those seeds and helping us have a better tomorrow. I think about the disruptor in my life, the art of disruption. For me, it was a program called Inroads. Inroads is a program for minorities to give you exposure to corporate America. Inroads was my disruptor, because without Inroads, I know I would not be standing here. Inroads was my disruptor in being able to connect my life of understanding financial insecurity, having Inroads, then getting exposed to corporate America, helping me become more knowledgeable and educated, and ultimately drives my passion today, which is all about financial health. Here's a moment that changed the game for me. I graduated from college, have my first job, max out the 401k, went home and said to my dad, he wants to retire. I said, let me look at your papers. All my dad had was his pension. But what really made me angry is that he worked for Xerox for over 30 plus years, 40 years. He didn't know about a 401k. My father did not know that there was something called a 401k that had he invested in, the company would match. And because of that lack of information, when I think about all of the financial insecurity we endured in our life, when I think about the fact that they didn't own a home until their daughter graduated and helped them get a home, I'm mad. Because my father didn't even know that that was an option for him. And the impact is that later on in his life, because the daughter said, Dad, you can't retire. You and Mom can't retire. My dad and my mom made the ultimate sacrifice. They immediately maxed out on the 401k, did the whole acceleration. To be honest, I don't even know how they did it. The bills were still the same, nothing changed. It was just the fact that his daughter said, Dad, you have to do something differently, that he took the chance and he made the sacrifice so that he and my mother ultimately were able to retire. That moment stuck with me up until this moment. How many Otis Browns are out there? How many Otis and Rosie Brown understand the relationship with money is a tough one? How many Otis and Rosie Browns are just trying to do their very best for their kids, but don't have the right information, but they have the hopes and the dreams? How many Otis and Rosie Browns are we going to continue to work really hard and not have the access to information, and then ultimately be in a place where their hopes and dreams cannot be realized. That really ignited my fire. And so when I think about that moment and I fast forward, and I'm like, wow, through all of that journey, I am now a CEO. Not once, but twice at JPMorgan Chase. You see, when I think about my parents' sacrifice, I go way back. I think about my ancestors. I know that I am my ancestors' wildest dreams, right? I know that when I am in corporate, when I am at the corporate office in New York, when I see the history of this amazing bank that goes all the way back to Rockefeller, I think, wow, he could not imagine the face of this bank rocking braids, running the consumer bank. But you see, here's the point. I am standing on the shoulders of giants. I am one generation removed from full segregation. My parents grew up in integration. I am one generation removed from laws on books preventing me from simply standing here. But when I think about the art of possibility, it may not have been Rockefeller, but do you know who it was? It was the janitors in corporate America. It was the cooks and it was the secretaries. The first people that looked like me that were inside the walls of JPMorgan Chase and other financial institutions. It was all of them that understood the art of possibility. It was them that was putting the cracks in the ceiling so that someday the art of possibility could exist for someone like me. So these are the experiences that I bring with me to work every day. Understanding that it was not a given for me to simply be here. Understanding that that was information that was not even available by law. Now the information is there, and now I'm inside these four walls. How do I make sure that I do my part so that more Rosie and Otis Browns can see the art of possibility when it comes to financial health? I believe that it is critical, it is necessary, and for me personally, it is required. It is required. So yes, it is my experiences that drives what I do at Chase and why I'm here. But you know what? I subscribe to it takes a village. And it's definitely not an I thing, it's a we thing. And I'm incredibly blessed to surround myself with teammates that are here today that work with me every single day on this journey to make an impact that aligns with our firm's purpose, which is simply to help clients make the most of their money so that they can make the most of their lives. It's a great feeling to work with people shoulder to shoulder across the country at all levels of this firm that understands that we ultimately cannot exist if our employees and our clients are not financially healthy. So financial health, it's a real challenge for most of Americans. And you all know this so well. My dad would say, it's not what you make, it's what you keep. So how do we break down these barriers? How do we encourage people to be more open about financial challenges? And how do we do it without judgment or shade? How do we do it in a way that no matter where they are on this financial health journey, they don't feel like it's an attack on who they are as a person? So at Chase, and I know with all of you, we want to be our clients' wingman or wingwoman. It's very simple. We want to provide the resources, the tools, and the access to customers in a way that is relevant, in a way that they can receive it, to help them get on the right path and stay on the right path. And when I talk about my tribe and my team, and it takes a village, I think about Chuck Hayden and the work that he and his team does and what they did in launching Chase Secure Banking, which is a new account that we hope will expand access to the 8 to 10 million Americans that are unbanked or underbanked, to make sure that they have a higher level of access than what they have today. I think about the work in the field with all of our branches and all the work that we do inside our four walls, where we launched a national movement. And we started with our employees and now our customers, and we asked one simple question: what are you saving for? You see, I shared with the team I was sharing for a Disney cruise to take my son when he turned 10 years old, and to take my mom, my dad, my aunt, my uncle, the whole family. That's what I was saving for. And it's such a powerful question Because it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter how much you have or how little you have. When you ask someone what are they saving for, you now tap into their psychology of their hopes, their dreams, and their fears. You meet them for what really matters. Then they will be open to understand how you can help them. So we launched this movement. We then worked across our company to launch digital tools that are helping customers meet their savings goals. And with the leadership of Alice Rodriguez and her team, we launched something called AutoSave. And here is the point. We just launched it. We have not yet started fully marketing it, and we already have over 440,000 customers that have signed up for AutoSave to just save a little bit every paycheck, and understanding that that is a key metric to helping them address their needs when it comes to building a rainy day fund. We offer resources like Credit Journey to help make sure that people understand the power of their credit score and what they can do to help it. You know, I like to say, have you all heard the saying, keep it 100? Yeah? Like keep it real? Well, I subscribe to keep it 700 plus. So I tell everybody, go on, yeah, keep it 100, you know, but I want to create a new narrative and we say keep it 700 plus. And that's what I want everyone to know. I go hashtag keep it 700. Because people need to know what good looks like. People need to know that if they have a 660, a little bit more, they can have more money in their pocket when they're trying to buy that car or get that insurance or purchase their home. People have to know what excellence looks like in a way that they can receive it. And that's just a simple way in connecting with millions of Americans. So in the end, with our friends, our family, and our community, we know that when they are financially strong, we are all collectively financially stronger. So success is not the story of one person. It's how we scale this. It's how we make the opportunity and the possibilities happen for millions. We have to do this together. We know that our country will be better for it. We know that our neighborhoods will be better for it. We know that our families will be better for it. And we know collectively we'll all benefit. So the people in this room, this is where it all starts. You all represent the art of possibility to drive change. You all have the opportunity to be that disruptor. We collectively have the possibility to give information to someone like Otis Brown in a way that can change his course of life. That is what we are charged to do. And we have to do it together. We have to band together collectively, community organizations, nonprofits, advocacy, fintech, corporate, all of us, in order to make this a reality for more people. And I want you to know that if we were playing cards, JPMorgan Chase has put all our cards on the table. We are all in. We are all in with products and services, and yes, those are important. But I want you to know that we are all in with our people. Because I like to say it's our people that light up the octagon. And it's our people that are also making sure that we are doing our part. You see, over 3,000 of our Chase employees volunteered nearly 35,000 hours to deepen the impact of our work to advance financial health of underserved communities. And I think that's important because it's okay to make announcements and okay to talk about products and services, but are you getting your people to understand that they are part of the solution too? And the more that we activate our human capital, the more that we can scale and the more that we can make sure more Americans understand that art of possibility. We're also making sure that our employees are on this journey, that they have access to mentoring, support, financial health tools, and of course, career mobility. So I want you to know that we're doubling down, and we're not doubling down just in aggregate, we're looking at sub-segments. And I'll give you an example. We're looking at the African American community. We just launched an effort that I lead along with Sekou, who reports into me, called Advancing Black Pathways. And what's so great, thank you for that. And what's so great about Advancing Black Pathways, it's simply that. We need to advance Black pathways. And here's just a why. It's not because I'm Black. It's because when you look at the stats and you realize that the median net worth of a single Black woman is $200, compared to a single white woman, which is north of $15,000. So it's not enough to just talk about financial health in aggregate. We have to look at the data, understand the segments, and understand the problem to be solved, and focus on areas that are also the least. And say, if we can solve that, everyone can benefit. So we launched Advancing Black Pathways, and we understand that it is about bringing all of what JPMorgan Chase has to offer, not for the benefit of JPMorgan Chase, but for the benefit of the Black community that will benefit the entire community. And so we launched the focus around education, careers, and wealth. You see, you have to have education or a skill. You have to graduate. You have to have a skill. But even with education, when you get a career, we know that many times you hit that ceiling and you're not seeing African Americans advance, even with the qualifications. But even when we do advance and we have these wonderful careers, we are not building wealth. And so this is what Advancing Black Pathways is about. We launched a partnership with Essence called Currency Conversations because it goes back to the mindset without shade or judgment. Let's talk about keeping it 700 when we pair it with Sauvignon Blanc, girlfriends, right? Let's talk about it. So we want to just make it comfortable. In the same way I say, where did you get that dress? I want to say, give me a tip. My FICO dropped 20 points. What we gonna do, right? So that's the point. And so you can go to Currency Conversations and take the pledge, and you don't have to be a Chase customer because it's about the community. It's about being relevant and bringing culture in a way that people can receive it so that they can act. Those are just a few examples. Success is not the story of one, it's the story of millions. And that's why I am so excited to announce today a $125 million investment to support financial health for all. This is our commitment to work closely with community organizations over the next 5 years. This is about creating the art of possibility through this investment. This is about impacting millions of people who need the help the most. This is about leveraging the power of local and national organizations, nonprofits, corporations, governments, to collectively drive change. Through collaboration with community organizations, we will help inform the creation of new products and services that can make banking more accessible to more people. We will work tirelessly to make sure that we're investing in financial coaching models that work. We will work collectively to create more fintech tools. We will work collectively to share best practices, what works and what does not work, with one another. And what I love the most, this is about impacting millions. We want to replicate it and we want to scale it. We want to scale it to every part of this country in a way that success will not be just one story, like the story I shared about my family, but it will be the story of millions. And I want to wrap up by saying thank you. Thank you to all of you who have been in the trenches since day one. I know that there are people in this room that have been working in this space before it had a name, that have been working in this space to help people who couldn't help themselves, giving a voice to people who didn't have a voice for over 10, 20, 30, 40 years. I know that there are people who may have left a comfortable job and said, I'm all in, who felt like you had a calling to do more. I know that there are people in this room that are in corporate America that are saying, I'm all in what I do every single day. My point is, you all are the financial health innovators. You are the thought leaders and the change makers. Your commitment to financial health is creating the art of possibility, the way Inroads created the art of possibility for me to be here. My story is only one, but I hope it's a story that you will always remember. You see, by me understanding the art of possibility, I was able to dream bigger. Every day, I'm reaching for the moon. Every day, I'm trying to surround myself with people that understand that we collectively are among the stars. It's my dreams and my hopes and my fears that drive me to do more, to give back personally, to start a foundation, to adopt a child, to make sure I'm raising kids with great character, to make sure that in corporate America, we measure the ROC, which is the return on culture. The ROC is what will make sure financial health is sustainable, that it's not a fad or it's not a trend. The ROC will ensure that when I'm no longer standing in this role and in this capacity, JPMorgan Chase will continue to make an impact. And there will be another Thasunda, maybe her name will be like a Shonda, that would be amazing. That there will be another girl that looks like me, or another man that shares the same passion regardless of his background, to understand our responsibility at firms that we all represent. That understand that it takes a village, that understands that collectively we can create the art of possibility, that understand that the story is not going to be told by just one example. Success will be defined by millions of people sharing their Otis Brown story. Together, we will make financial health a reality. Together, we will make sure that more Americans have that rainy day fund. Together, we will ensure that young people understand the power of saving, the power of not buying the Nikes but investing in Nike. Together, we will understand that it doesn't matter where you start, that we can help you have a better tomorrow. So thank you for your time. Thank you for listening to my story. And most importantly, thank you in advance for making an impact. Thank you.